And the other thing is I talked to Mayor Frank Porco, he's the mayor of Forest Hills, and I drove through Forest Hills, or I did, during the school year. My child goes to school there. And I said, I feel like Forest Hills is pretty clean. Can you sort of tell me your secrets? And he told me a few things that I thought I would share. And this was just a casual conversation, so it's not verbatim. But one thing he talked about, he said they do have a good number of garbage cans, and he said he feels that has helped. He mentioned that there are grants that has helped pay for those, and some members of my group have given me grant information, probably Chris and some of you even know about grant programs that could be looked at. He mentioned that they have, I don't know if he called them street sweepers, but he said they do have workers that clean up roads several days a week, topped from Greensboro Pike down to the Ardmore. They do that, whether it's not even just, it could be a state road, even though I know PennDOT's responsible for that. But he said they do that. And then he also mentioned that they've increased their fines, that people can be fined up to $1,000 for subsequent offenses. So just throwing that out there, something that maybe Penn Hills could consider. He also mentioned signage. He said that I didn't really notice so much of their signs, but he felt like that was helpful. And I know we talked about signage, maybe having a slogan like "Keep Penn Hills Beautiful" or something like that. I brought that up, so wanted to mention that. And then the other thing is we talked about municipality workers. So I know you said before, I'm like, well, could we hire someone? And maybe this was even when Chris and I were talking. I apologize, I can't recall. But can someone be hired part-time? And I don't know. I don't know much about how the municipality is run, so you could educate me on that. But is it a possibility that someone could be on a contract basis? That person could help clean up Penn Hills, just paid hourly, not benefits. They wouldn't have to be part of a union. Again, I don't know. I'm hoping you can tell me. I think there's summer workers at Penn Hills, if I'm not mistaken. Can they help clean up litter? I mean, many of us, we're cleaning up litter. I mentioned I do it probably 9 months a year. I do it 5 or 6 days a week. I went running yesterday. While I was running with my dog, I picked up litter. And that was a feat, believe me. Leash, phone, litter. But it's that important to me. I'm not going to stop doing it. But I can't do all the roads, obviously. I do my neighborhood, so it would be great if we could get more people involved. So those are my things. So if you could sort of speak to me around those things, I would appreciate it. And again, I want to say, I try to be positive about Penn Hills. This is something that we can help. We can make it better. We can fix it. We as a community, we cannot litter. We can clean up litter, but we so much want to see the municipality say, yes, we're behind you. We're going to put something on social media. Anything that you can do that shows that you're with us, you're behind us, you're next to us, we would appreciate immensely. So that's my spiel.
I'll address, some of the things. As far as sending the letters out, Chris, being that from the last meeting when we spoke, there are code enforcement laws in place on the books. So in essence, if the code enforcement people would take an afternoon or a few hours, and they would go around the restaurants and that. Not that I want to make a problem for any of the businesses, because Penn Hills does need business. But on the same token, if they are in code violation, then that cost would be a cost that we would be sending out at any rate. Am I correct? I mean, if you see a violation, how does the municipality contact the violator? Mo, did you want to say something?
Yes, Mayor, if I may. John, the director, assigns the code inspectors to different areas within the municipality. And there is one day per week that those inspectors, they go into their areas, territories, if you will, and kind of rove the whole area and collect any violations that they see. Along with that, on a daily basis as they drive to their work areas or sites or inspection sites, they collect information as well, and subsequently, send the violation notices to the property owner or the resident or the business, whatever the case may be. In addition to that, of course, if we receive a complaint from Faith or anybody else that sends us a complaint, code enforcement generally goes out and take a look at it and send a violation notice. But in general, there is a designated day per week for each inspector to go out and do the roving around their territories or flopping territories with other inspectors.
Okay, is there some way that, I know that the code enforcement had received new software information and that. Is there some way that they can actually put in, like, if it's visible that a business, not just a restaurant, but a business, but I believe the restaurant, if I'm not mistaken, in the ordinance, it's so many feet around the restaurant, am I correct?
250.
250, right. So because of the fact that if we've already have this in place and we're still seeing the litter in the areas, then there's something that isn't working, that we need to have working, because of the fact that there's nothing worse than coming into a community, and we are working very hard on making the county and the state see that Penn Hills gets their just due. And there's nothing worse than riding into a community and you seeing a lot of litter on the sides of the roads and that. Then it does make it look like that we are a distressed community, which in my opinion, we are not. So I would like this to be looked into, because of the fact that if we already have the program in place and the litter is still visible, then the program we have in place isn't actually working to its best capacity.
Well, it is actually working, Mayor. I mean, you can go down Old William Penn, the Public Works Department will clean that, and the next morning, it's just like they were never there. It's just the people need to be educated. The program that Mrs. Getz is working with the school, that's where it starts. Sending a letter to a business versus a violation, I think they'll pay more attention to a violation versus just a letter say, hey, clean up your area. Putting a violation in place and prosecuting that, I think it's more effective than just sending a letter to remind them that they need to clean. Everybody knows they need to clean their area, but when they're in a violation, get a violation notice and given a certain amount of time to respond to it, it's more effective than just a letter say, hey, make sure you clean your area. Everybody knows that. And the problem is the education, and we try to do that. We have the Earth Day. We try to clean up. We're constantly cleaning there. People say, even the police, just for your information, the police actually about a couple weeks ago, the discussion came up, and Lieutenant Diolas himself had a traffic stop and issued a citation for litter. He didn't know what we were talking about. He was doing his own business and issued a citation. So everybody is involved in that, believe it or not.
I believe it.
Okay. But everybody has a job, and they do their job, and just adding more work by writing letters and stuff like that, I think that's not effective as much as the crews are going out and collecting the areas where there are violations and following up with the citation.
And if there's a violation, like I know how I've called code enough times, I understand there's this whole process. Is it the same thing